So last week gave us very beautiful price action. We saw a very good delivery in price, and basically price acted bullish in a way that we actually haven't seen in a very long while. So it was actually a very beautiful week, but then I wasn't actually very much active towards the end of the week. But then in this video we'll be covering the weekly outlook for the brand new week and a brief look at what actually happened during the course of last week, and then we could actually dive right in and get set for the new week. I'm Salen and I'll be your host for this one. So usually the way we do it is we start from the weekly time frame. So what I would like to do right now from the weekly time frame is I would love to mark out this level right here at around 5k. That's at 5,013. That's where I would love to mark first. Already we've seen the beautiful rejection from the weekly time frame, and we could see how last week closed, whereby price was starting to hold up to this, was trying to hold up to this. So I would love to mark that out first. So let's do that. And after we do that, let's go down to the 1 day time frame. When we come back down to the 1 day time frame, one of the key things I would love to mark out here is the bullish trend line that price was moving on from this level before the breakout. So you should see something like this. This is our bullish trend line. Bullish trend line is something like this. Yes, exactly. So if you tend to notice, you notice that this level which we marked out from the daily time frame, which was around 5,013, I made a little mistake and moved it a bit slower, but it should be here 5,000 and let's say somewhere here, somewhere right here. Yeah, so it's actually at around the point where my price broke out and started selling off, and this level actually, when you're trading breakout, is actually a key level whereby you expect to see price coming back to react, and if there's a failure from that point, then price would then continue to chase low and probably chase this low. So it's very important that right now we actually mark out this low also. Let's mark out this low. Mark out this low, then we could easily mark out our last week high, which is sitting at this level right here. Yeah, so you could easily expect that price should be able to come back towards this level right here. In fact, let's even adjust it here. Why am I saying we should adjust it? Because my expectation from this level, when price fell into this point, was price should be able to use it as a way to push up higher. And if you notice, when price tapped into feeling this FVG right here and tapping into this guy, we saw some form of reaction, bullish reaction. But the next thing we saw was a full breakout. That means this support at this level was actually converted to be a resistance level. So we could easily expect to see price after the healing from last week. Easily expect to see price push into this resistance level. So with that in mind, if we look closely here, we could see what happened from this level. If you look closely here and you watched the last weekly video, I spoke about what happens when you see a candle like this. When you see a candle like this, most times sellers are trying to chip into the market, because already you could see a very nice bearish reaction from this bullish candle, and then the next candle that formed was a full body close below this candle, which is a clear indication that most sellers will be looking for those sell positions from this point here. But then if price is able to close full body above this particular candle here, most likely price will inverse that level to give us a clear sign that price is actually switching for bullish trades. And if we take 50% of that level, we should actually get something like this, and you could see that's exactly the level whereby price came back to. That's exactly the point whereby price came back to. It marks that out like this. Exactly. if you could see clearly here, that's exactly where price will be rejected from. And if we even take a deeper look, we could see we had this daily average, this average on the time frame. So that's actually additional confidence, because the average has been filled, so most likely price should be able to break and take out this high and then push out towards 5,013. So this is what I'm actually seeing from the daily time frame. So let's go down to the 4 hours time frame. When we come back down to the 4 hours, we could actually see something beautiful actually playing out here. We could see something beautiful actually playing out in correlation to what we know already. Remember I said we should keep taking note of this level to mark out this low too. So let's take note of that level too. So notice what happened. This was the point whereby I was talking about the whole selling pressure at this level, and you could see the reaction that we kept on getting from this level. But instead of price to be able to break a lower low, it kept on breaking higher highs, and that's actually what kept on fueling these moves that we kept on seeing. That's actually what kept on fueling this. And if you even look closely, you could even tend to notice that we are actually moving on a low-key bullish trend line from this level. Let's see, let me mark that out. You can actually see that we're actually moving on something like this. Oh, sorry, let's go. When we go down to 1 hour time frame, we'll then mark that out. But for now, let's look at what happened here. You could see how price kept on building up and picking bullish orders from this level. So I actually expect that from this 4 hours level, from this 4 hours time frame, we should actually be good enough to see price actually buying off higher. It should actually be good enough to see something like this. You should see something like this at least, yeah. So I'm actually expecting to see something like this. Hopefully with this new week, we should see something like this, because if you even look closely at this point, you would see that price overbought at this level, feeling to tap back into the discount level to pick up buy orders, but it still came back for the buy orders with that daily rejection level that I spoke about, feeling that FVG and then giving this beautiful reaction. So that's actually what I'm seeing on the 1 hour, on the 4 hours time. You can see we've even closed above this resistance level already, so that should actually be a good one. So let's go down to the 1 hour time frame, see what we could actually dig up from this level. When we come back down to the 1 hour time frame, we could see this nice bullish trend line that's actually forming up at this level. We could easily mark it out from these points here. From these points, let me change this up. From this point, something, let's take it from this level right here. From this level right here, and mark it out like this. Yeah, so we're seeing this nice build up higher, and you could still see for 1 hour it's actually correlating to what we've seen on the 4 hours time frame. So already this level right here, if we take our fib to break of structure, you could see that price already is within the discount level. So this level is actually on the sweet spot already. So from this 1 hour time frame, we could easily expect that okay, there's that possibility that price could buy up and close above this high, come back into this level, and then push up to chase more moves higher. So we could easily expect something like this, or if we don't get to see something like this, price could first of all do this. Price could first of all come back a bit slower, pick buy or more buys, then we do this. So we could actually expect one of these from this current level with the markets this particular week. We could actually expect that. And why did I say that? Why I said that is because if we take our fib 2 now, and mark this level out, we have this breakout structure, but then you tend to notice that price failed to tap into the discount level from this point, which is a way that price actually leaves inducement a lot. It's a way that price actually leaves inducement a lot. So the inducement is sitting at this particular low right here, and if we could easily mark that inducement level right there, and we could easily mark this high right here. So what I'm actually expecting is, if it takes this guy first, then most likely going to push up higher. But then if that's not the case, most likely we should get a little tap in here first, then so we should see something like this. So that's what I'm actually expecting on the 1 hour time frame. Let's go down to 30 minutes to see if it correlates with what we are seeing here. When we come back down to 30-minute time frame, you can see everything looking basically very similar to what we've seen already from the 1 hour time frame. And if we do something like this, we could, from this level where price broke here, where we have this change of service level, we could easily mark out our level here, that if price should fall down lower to take in this move, we can expect some form of reaction. So I'll be marking out this level as that point, and I want us to even take note at what happened here. You could see this negative candle that was trying to reject higher. Next we saw some few candles closing below this low. Most times, remember, if you watched the last video, you should actually know this, because most times price actually tends to react at around 50% of this week, and you could see we saw that reaction. But then instead of price to hold that reaction down, to push down lower, we're seeing price falling back into and pushing in higher and higher. And that's actually one of the major reasons why I'm saying that if we see a full body close above this high, then most likely price will just come back to this level and push higher. That's basically what I would actually be expecting. But if that's not the case, and if we fail to get that full body close above that high, remember I said full body close above that high, then we could easily expect to see price do something like this. If you miss this level, you could easily find confirmation as high as this, or even somewhere at around that point. You see price do something like this, and boom, price should be able to push higher from that point. So I'll actually be stopping here. I'll be calling more trades and more details on the community channel already was set and loaded. And for this Q2, my course is actually open and on for sale, and we're off over 30% discount. You can actually check more details in the description and on the screen too. And also all through the months, that will be up to 30% plus, because right now it's going for $170. And also all the VIP channel plans are off 30% this month. I'm actually doing that because this month is actually my birthday, and it's also a way to kickstart the Q2 strong. So we'll actually be doing so much more, and I wouldn't want you all to miss that too. So this is what I'm actually expecting. And if this is the particular case right here, like as we've seen at this very point, then we could easily get some solid buys that could look like this. Easily just target somewhere at around this level should give you a very solid trade. In fact, it's actually as good as it is with this high right here. It's already as good as that, something like this. But if what we see should be this break, this full body break, remember I said a full body break, if it's a full body break, that back, and we should expect something like this. I'm actually expecting to see, after the full body close, where we see the full candles close, I'm actually expecting that we should see something like this. So I'll be dropping more intel about all of these moves on the community channel. So if you're not part of it, you could easily use the link in the description to join up. So thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you all in the next one. Ciao.